Welcome, beloved chosen ones. The brightest light never announces itself. It simply shines, and somehow the darkness always knows exactly where to find it. There is something strange that happens throughout history. The people who carry the greatest purpose often attract the greatest attention long before they achieve anything visible. Long before success arrives, before influence grows, before the world knows their name, someone is already watching. Not because they understand the gift, but because they sense its impact. That is a fact many people overlook. Human beings naturally pay the most attention to what feels unpredictable. Psychologists have long observed that uncertainty captures the mind more than certainty. When someone cannot figure you out, cannot predict your next move, or cannot explain why you keep rising after every setback, they become mentally invested in you. Some call it curiosity, others call it jealousy. Whatever the name, the result is the same: they keep watching. For chosen ones, this goes even deeper. It is not always about what you own, where you work, or how many followers you have. Sometimes it is your peace that gets noticed. Sometimes it is your resilience. Sometimes it is the strange way doors keep opening after they slammed shut. You do not have to make an announcement. Your life makes enough noise on its own. And here is the funny part. Some people have spent so much time tracking your life that if they put the same energy into fixing their own, they would probably be giving motivational speeches by now. But that is how obsession works. It convinces people that someone else's light is the reason they are standing in the dark. What you are about to hear is not another collection of feel-good sayings or empty motivational lines. These are uncomfortable truths about why your light attracts attention, why certain people seem unusually invested in your journey, and why being watched is often less about your present and more about the future they quietly sense in you. Stay with me until the very end, because one of these insights may explain a pattern in your life that has never made sense until today. Number 1. They do not study your actions. They study your patterns. Most people believe they become a target because of one big moment, a promotion, a breakthrough, or a public success. But that is rarely what captures people's attention. What unsettles them is the pattern behind your life. They begin to notice that every time something knocks you down, you somehow come back stronger. Every closed door seems to lead you toward a better opportunity. Every disappointment becomes another lesson instead of another excuse. At first, they think it is luck. Then they start watching more closely, because luck is not supposed to repeat itself. This is where the tracking begins. They stop focusing on what you did yesterday and start paying attention to how you live every day. They notice that you do not stay discouraged for long. They notice that pressure sharpens you instead of breaking you. They notice that while others waste time complaining, you are already adapting. Those patterns are difficult to ignore because they reveal something deeper than talent. They reveal character. People who rely on shortcuts struggle to understand someone who keeps growing through discipline. They keep looking for the secret formula, hoping they will catch you making one lucky move that explains everything. Instead, they find consistency. They discover that your victories were quietly built by habits. Nobody applauded, decisions nobody celebrated, and sacrifices nobody saw. That is what makes your light difficult to explain. It is not a single achievement they can criticize or dismiss. It is a way of living that keeps producing results over and over again. Eventually, they realize they are no longer watching isolated events. They are watching a pattern they cannot predict, cannot copy, and cannot stop. And once people realize your progress is not accidental but intentional, they do not just notice your life, they begin studying it. Number 2, your peace is ruining their ability to control you. One of the biggest shifts in a chosen one's life happens when peace becomes stronger than the need to prove a point. That kind of peace frustrates people who are used to controlling others through emotion. They expect you to argue, defend yourself, explain every decision, or react to every insult. When none of that happens, they become unsettled because the script they wrote for you suddenly stops working. Many people do not realize that control depends on predictable reactions. If someone knows exactly what will make you angry, guilty, or afraid, they can keep pulling those strings whenever they want. But once you stop responding the way they expect, they lose their influence. They may even increase the pressure, hoping the old version of you will return. They gossip more, criticize louder, or create unnecessary drama just to see if they can get a reaction. When nothing changes, confusion begins to replace confidence. Your peace is not weakness. It is evidence that you have learned something they have not. You have discovered that not every battle deserves your attention. Not every accusation requires an answer. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. That realization quietly breaks the cycle of manipulation. This is why some people become obsessed with disturbing your calm. They are not trying to win an argument. They are trying to regain access to a version of you they once understood. But that version no longer exists. You have grown beyond living at the mercy of other people's moods and expectations. That is why your peace feels so powerful. It cannot be bought, pressured, or borrowed. It comes from knowing who you are and refusing to hand the keys to your inner world to people who never earned the right to hold them. Once that happens, your light becomes impossible to control, and that is exactly what unsettles them. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to speak about this channel and the mission that drives every message released here. What you are receiving right now is not casual content. It is a genuine commitment to reaching chosen ones who are learning to understand the weight of what they carry and how to walk in it without apology. Creating messages like this takes time, prayer, and real dedication. If this content has added value to your life today, if something said here confirmed a truth you have been sensing for a long time, I want to invite you to support this mission. Through the link in the pinned comment, you can contribute by buying us a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a monthly member of this community. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Every seed you plant into this work grows into a message that reaches the next chosen one who is still trying to understand why they are being watched, why their peace unsettles people, and why their light keeps attracting attention. The link is in the pinned comment. Take that step today. 3. Your future is visible before your success is. One of the strangest realities about being a chosen one is that people often react to your future before they ever see your success. It sounds impossible until you experience it. You may still be building your life, working quietly, and trying to figure things out. Yet certain people already treat you as if you are a threat. It leaves you wondering, what did I even do? The answer is often, nothing. They are responding to what they sense, not to what you have achieved. There is something about the way you think, the way you recover from setbacks, and the way you refuse to settle that sends a message without you speaking. People pay attention to small details. They notice that you do not give up easily. They notice that you learn quickly from mistakes. They notice that disappointment does not keep you down for long. These qualities may not look impressive today, but they are the foundation of tomorrow's success. Some people are surprisingly good at recognizing potential. The problem is that instead of celebrating it, They become uncomfortable because your future reminds them of the opportunities they ignored in their own lives. Watching you grow forces them to face the possibility that they could have made different choices, but did not. That is why resistance often appears before recognition. Criticism arrives before applause. Doubt shows up before proof. People start questioning you before you have anything visible to defend. They are reacting to seeds while everyone else is waiting for fruit. Never mistake an early battle for a sign that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes the strongest opposition appears because your future is already casting a shadow into the present. Long before the world sees your results, certain people have already sensed that you are becoming someone they will never be able to ignore. 4. Every time you refuse to become bitter, you break their prediction. Many people expect pain to change you in the worst possible way. They believe that after enough disappointment, rejection, betrayal, or hardship, you will eventually become angry, careless, and defeated. They expect your wounds to become your identity. But when you go through difficult seasons and still choose growth over bitterness, you create a response they never saw coming. There is a certain power in someone who has every reason to become negative, but chooses wisdom instead. It confuses people because they understand anger more than they understand healing. They know how to deal with someone who is consumed by revenge or trapped in resentment. But someone who takes their pain, learns from it, and continues moving forward is much harder to control. Your ability to remain grounded after difficult experiences reveals a strength that cannot be easily measured. It shows that your character is not built on comfort, it is built on choice. Anyone can be positive when life is easy, but staying true to yourself when life tests you requires something deeper. Some people may even expect your struggles to destroy your confidence. They wait for you to become the person they predicted you would become. But when you rise with more clarity, more discipline, and more compassion, you challenge their entire belief system. The greatest victory is not proving people wrong through arguments or revenge. It is becoming someone they never expected you could become. Your refusal to let pain poison your heart becomes evidence that your spirit is stronger than your circumstances. While others expected your struggles to create darkness, you turned them into fuel for your light. 5. Your growth forces them to face the life they avoided. One of the hardest things for people to accept is that your growth can become a mirror, not because you are trying to expose anyone, but because your progress silently reveals what is possible. When someone watches you change, improve, and become more disciplined, it can force them to confront the choices they have been avoiding in their own life. Your journey becomes uncomfortable for those who have spent years making excuses. Every step you take forward reminds them of the steps they never took. Every risk you accepted reminds them of the chances they ignored. Every time you choose growth over comfort, it challenges the stories they have been telling themselves about why they cannot change. This is why some people criticize your transformation. They are not always angry about where you are going. Sometimes they are uncomfortable because your evolution removes their ability to justify staying the same. It is easier to question your path than to question their own decisions. The truth is, growth changes relationships. When you stop thinking the way you used to think, stop accepting what you once tolerated, and start demanding more from yourself. Some people feel like they are losing the old version of you. They were comfortable with the person who needed approval, but they struggle with the person who has found direction. Your light does not have to compete with anyone else's darkness. It simply reveals what has been hidden. Your discipline, your courage, and your willingness to evolve become a silent message. Change is possible. That is why your growth attracts attention. It is not just about becoming better. It is about showing others that the life they keep saying is impossible may actually be waiting on the other side of their own choices. If this message is resonating with your spirit, right now drop Amen in the comments as your declaration that you receive this truth, that you accept the light you carry, and that you refuse to dim it for anyone who was never meant to hold it. Let that Amen be your agreement with everything being spoken over your life today. 6. Some people collect information about you because they cannot create what you carry. There is a difference between learning from someone and trying to decode someone. Healthy people admire qualities they want to develop. Unhealthy people search for shortcuts, hoping they can copy the results without understanding the process behind them. This is why some people become overly interested in your habits, your decisions, and the way you move through life. They look for a hidden formula. They want to know what you did, who helped you, what opportunity appeared, or what secret move created your progress. But what they fail to understand is that the strongest parts of you were not created by information. They were created by experiences, discipline, patience, and moments when you had to choose growth, even when nobody was watching. You cannot copy someone's character by studying their actions. You cannot download someone's resilience by observing their routine. The real power behind a person's success is often built in private places that nobody sees. The difficult choices, the sacrifices, the lessons learned from mistakes, and the determination to continue when quitting would have been easier. This is why some people become frustrated when they study you, but still cannot reproduce your results. They are looking at the visible pieces while ignoring the invisible foundation. They see the confidence, but not the battles that built it. They see the achievement, but not the years of preparation behind it. The truth is, your light is not powerful because of what you have. It is powerful because of who you became while building it. Someone can copy your appearance, your words, or even your methods. But they cannot duplicate the journey that shaped your mind and strengthened your spirit. Some things cannot be taken, stolen, or recreated. They must be earned. 7. The more authentic you become, the harder you are to manipulate. The moment you stop pretending to be someone you are not, you become difficult for certain people to control. Many forms of manipulation depend on one thing: understanding what version of yourself you are trying to protect. If someone knows you desperately need approval, they can use praise. If they know you fear rejection, they can use distance. If they know you always want to be accepted, they can use guilt. But authenticity removes those weaknesses because you are no longer building your life around other people's reactions. When you become comfortable with who you are, manipulation loses its power. You no longer need to explain every decision just to make others comfortable. You no longer change your values to fit into spaces that do not respect you. You start recognizing that being misunderstood is sometimes the price of being genuine. This shift can surprise people who are used to the old version of you. They may wonder why certain tactics no longer work. They may say you have changed, but what they often mean is that you have stopped being easy to influence. The version of you that constantly looked for permission has been replaced by someone who trusts their own judgment. Authenticity does not mean becoming perfect or never listening to others. It means knowing yourself well enough that outside opinions cannot easily pull you away from your purpose. You can accept advice without surrendering your identity. 8. Your light exposes hidden agendas without you saying a word. There is something powerful about a person who simply lives with honesty, discipline, and purpose. They do not need to announce who they are because their actions reveal it. This is why some people feel uncomfortable around genuine individuals. your presence can reveal things that words never could. It can expose insecurity, dishonesty, and hidden intentions without you ever making an accusation. A person who is pretending often feels threatened by someone who is real, not because you attack them, but because your consistency creates a contrast. When you remain respectful while others are being manipulative, when you stay focused while others are distracted, and when you keep your integrity while others are looking for shortcuts, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Your light acts like a mirror. It does not create what is inside people. It simply reveals what was already there. Those with good intentions are often inspired by it. They see your discipline and feel encouraged to improve themselves. But those who are carrying hidden motives may feel exposed because your authenticity makes their behavior harder to hide. This is why some people misunderstand you. They may think your confidence is arrogance or your boundaries are coldness. But often what they are reacting to is the fact that they cannot easily influence you. They cannot convince you to betray your values or become someone you are not. The most interesting thing about real light is that it does not chase darkness away by fighting it. It simply exists, and darkness loses its ability to hide. The same happens when you walk with purpose. You do not have to expose everyone. You only have to remain true to yourself. And eventually, what is hidden has a way of revealing itself. I want to pause here for just a moment, because this channel was created for exactly this, to reach chosen ones who are learning to walk in the truth of who they are, without apology and without explanation. Every message released here is built on prayer, time, and a genuine desire to reach people who need to hear that their light matters. If this content has been a source of strength or confirmation in your life, I want to invite you to support this mission through the link in the pinned comment. Whether you buy us a coffee, make a donation, or join our community as a monthly member, every contribution is a seed planted into ground that produces fruit for people who are still learning to embrace what they carry. Proverbs 11:25 says, "A generous person will prosper, and whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." What you sow into this work returns to you multiplied. The link is in the pinned comment. Take that step now. 9. People track what they secretly fear losing control over. Attention is rarely random. People naturally focus on what they believe can affect them, challenge them, or change the balance they are comfortable with. This is why some people become unusually interested in your journey. It is not always because they admire you. Sometimes they are paying attention because something about your growth feels outside their control. When someone cannot predict your choices, they begin watching more closely. They want to understand your next move because uncertainty makes people uncomfortable. They may look at your progress, your decisions, or your new habits because they are trying to figure out what has changed. The truth is, people often monitor what they cannot influence. This happens when you stop seeking permission and start trusting yourself. It happens when you leave situations that no longer align with your purpose. It happens when you become confident enough to make decisions without needing everyone to agree. To some people, that independence feels like a loss because they were used to having access to the old version of you. The interesting part is that they may never admit what is really happening. They might call it curiosity or concern. But deep down, they are reacting to the fact that your growth has created distance between who you were and who you are becoming. Your greatest power is not that everyone understands you. It is that you no longer need everyone to understand you. When your direction becomes stronger than outside opinions, you become difficult to control. That is when people start paying attention. Not because you are trying to prove anything, but because your freedom reminds them of something they may have forgotten. The ability to choose your own path is one of the most powerful things a person can possess. Number 10. Your boundaries are more offensive than your opinions. Many people can handle disagreement, but they struggle when they realize they no longer have unlimited access to you. Your opinions may challenge them, but your boundaries challenge their expectations. A person can argue against what you believe, but it is much harder for them to accept that they can no longer influence your time, energy, or decisions. For a long time, some people may have benefited from the version of you who always explained, always forgave, always adjusted, and always made room for everyone else. They became comfortable with your availability, so when you finally start protecting your peace and creating healthy limits, they may see it as a personal attack. The truth is, boundaries reveal the difference between people who respect you and people who only appreciated your lack of limits. Someone with good intentions will understand your need for balance. Someone who benefited from your exhaustion will complain about the change. This is why boundaries can feel offensive to certain people. They are not angry because you are doing something wrong. They are uncomfortable because the rules of the relationship have changed. The access they once had is no longer automatic. A strong boundary is not a punishment. It is a statement of self-respect. It says, I value myself enough to protect what matters. It does not require anger, long explanations, or constant defense. The moment you stop allowing people to cross lines they were never supposed to cross, you become harder to manipulate. Your kindness remains, but your weakness disappears. Your compassion remains, but your need for approval fades. Number 11. They keep looking for the old version of you that no longer exists. One of the hardest things for people to accept is that you can outgrow the version of yourself they were comfortable with. Some people hold onto an old image of you because it allows them to keep feeling like they understand you. They remember your past mistakes, your old fears, your moments of uncertainty, and they continue judging you based on a person who has already changed. The problem is that growth is invisible before it becomes obvious. People may not notice the private battles you overcame, the lessons you learned, or the discipline you built when nobody was watching. They only notice the final transformation and wonder why you are no longer reacting the way you used to. This is why some people keep testing you. They expect the old reactions. They expect you to seek approval, defend yourself endlessly, or return to familiar patterns. But when those reactions disappear, they become confused. They are trying to communicate with someone who no longer exists. Your transformation can feel like rejection to people who benefited from your old limitations. They may say you have changed as if change is something negative. But change is proof that you listened to life, learned from your experiences, and refused to remain stuck. The truth is, you should never feel guilty for becoming someone healthier, wiser, and stronger. Growth means leaving behind habits, mindsets, and connections that no longer match where you are going. Some people are not upset because you became different. They are upset because they can no longer access the version of you that was easier to influence. The old you served a purpose. It carried you through one chapter. But when that chapter ends, you have every right to step into the next one without apologizing for your evolution. Number 12. The light they track is really your capacity to keep beginning again. The most powerful thing about a person is not that they never fall. It is that falling never becomes the end of their story. Many people can handle someone who succeeds once, but they struggle to understand someone who keeps rebuilding after every setback. That kind of resilience cannot be easily explained because it comes from something deeper than talent or opportunity. People often notice the results, but they rarely see the process behind them. They see the comeback, but not the moments of doubt that had to be overcome. They see the confidence, but not the experiences that shaped it. They see someone standing strong, but forget that strength was built through every challenge that tried to break them. This is what makes your light different. It is not just about what you achieve. It is about your ability to start again when life does not go according to plan. Every time you choose to rise, learn, and move forward, you prove that your circumstances do not have the final say. Some people become fascinated by this because they understand that a person who refuses to stay defeated is difficult to stop. They may take away opportunities, criticize your choices, or doubt your abilities. But they cannot remove the determination that keeps bringing you back. The greatest advantage you can have is not a perfect journey. It is the ability to continue despite an imperfect one. Mistakes become lessons. Losses become wisdom. Delays become preparation. 13. Their obsession reveals your influence more than your popularity. Many people misunderstand influence because they measure it by applause, followers, or public recognition. But true influence goes much deeper. Sometimes the strongest impact is not seen in the people who celebrate you openly. It is seen in the people who quietly watch, analyze, criticize, or even imitate you while pretending they do not care. Popularity is about being noticed. Influence is about creating a reaction. When your choices make people think differently, when your discipline makes them question their own habits, or when your courage inspires them to make changes in their own lives, you are affecting people in a way that numbers cannot measure. This is why some people continue paying attention, even when they claim they have moved on. Your journey has created an effect they cannot ignore. They may not support you publicly, but your progress still occupies their thoughts. They may question your methods, but they are still observing your results. The interesting thing about influence is that it does not always come with approval. Sometimes people are influenced by someone they do not understand. They may disagree with your choices while secretly respecting your consistency. They may criticize your path while noticing that you have something they lack. Real influence is not about making everyone like you. It is about becoming someone whose actions carry weight. Your character, decisions, and growth leave impressions that remain long after conversations end. 1-4. The greatest threat is not your light. It is that your light keeps multiplying. The most powerful thing about genuine light is that it does not end with the person carrying it. It spreads. A person who chooses courage over fear, truth over comfort, and growth over excuses can influence far more people than they realize. That is what makes authentic transformation so powerful. It is not just about one person's success. It is about the impact that success creates around them. Many people can tolerate someone improving themselves. What becomes uncomfortable is when that improvement inspires others to do the same. One person becoming confident can encourage another person to stop accepting disrespect. One person choosing discipline can motivate another person to take responsibility for their own life. One person breaking old patterns can show others that change is possible. This is why some people pay close attention to those who carry a strong sense of purpose. They are not just watching what is happening today. They are noticing what could happen tomorrow. They understand that one changed mindset can influence families, friendships, communities, and future generations. The greatest impact is often created quietly. It is not always found in recognition or attention. Sometimes it happens when someone sees your journey and finds the courage to begin their own. Your consistency becomes proof that difficult things can be overcome. That is why your light matters. It is not valuable because it makes you stand above others. It is valuable because it gives others permission to rise too. The strongest light does not compete with other lights. It creates more of them, and that is what makes it impossible to ignore. A person can be criticized, doubted, or underestimated, but a light that continues spreading cannot easily be contained. The truth is being noticed is not always about seeking attention. Sometimes it is the natural result of carrying something different. Throughout this journey, we have uncovered a powerful reality. People do not always watch your actions. They watch your patterns. They notice how you rise after setbacks, how you remain grounded under pressure, and how you continue moving forward when others expected you to stop. Your peace, your authenticity, your boundaries, and your ability to begin again are not ordinary qualities. They are signs of a person who has learned to stop living according to the expectations of others and started walking with purpose. That kind of transformation cannot be hidden forever. Some people may misunderstand your growth. Some may search for the old version of you. Some may try to figure out what makes you different. But what they are really noticing is not perfection. They are noticing consistency. They are noticing someone who refuses to let pain destroy their character, fear control their choices, or criticism determine their direction. Your greatest power is not simply the light you carry today. It is the fact that your light has the ability to awaken something in others. Your courage can inspire courage. Your discipline can inspire discipline. Your transformation can remind someone else that change is possible. Never underestimate the impact of becoming the person you were meant to become. The world does not need more people pretending to shine. It needs people brave enough to grow, heal, and walk in their purpose, even when they are misunderstood. If this message connected with you, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights. Hit the like button to help this message reach more people. Leave your thoughts in the comments because your voice matters, and share this video with someone who may need this reminder today. And before you go, if this channel has walked with you today, if these insights have helped you understand your light more clearly and given you language for what you have been carrying, I want to invite you to support this mission one final time through the link in the pinned comment. Whether by buying us a coffee, making a donation, or joining our community as a monthly member, your generosity is a seed that grows into messages that reach chosen ones who are still learning to stop apologizing for their light. 2 Corinthians 9:7 says God loves a cheerful giver. What you release in faith returns to you multiplied. The link is in the pinned comment. Thank you for watching, and remember, keep growing, keep rising, and never dim the light that was placed within you. God bless you.